We're in. Hi,
Hey, good.
Emily. It is so nice to meet you.
Hi, Emily. Good
Hello, hun. Okay,
to
so
meet you too. I've been really excited about this.
awesome. Me too. This is always like the highlight of the
Good.
day. So oh, yeah, I really am happy to meet you. It breaks up all the other things we're doing here. Um,
Oh,
so,
good.
where are you calling in from?
Bellingham, Washington.
Nice. So you have good weather.
In just it's for the moment supposed to have thunderstorms later.
Oh no,
So,
never mind.
all right. It rains a lot here. We're
Oh,
used to
okay.
it.
Got it, got it. That's right. Cool. Well,
Where are you?
I'm over in New York, and so it's finally getting warm.
Oh,
I'm at my parents' house,
ah,
and hence my childhood bedroom. I'm visiting them to help
oh,
with something today. But yeah, it's nice to
nice.
be home. Um, but yeah, so the way this will work is we'll talk through kind of how you've used it in the past, what's worked, what hasn't worked. Then we usually like to go through wrapping it together and just make sure that like
Mhm.
getting it down and comfortable and secure. And I did read your questionnaire, so I know that you're calling more specifically about frizzy hair and like how can we help reduce any frizz while you're sleeping with it. So we'll talk about that as well. Does that all sound good? If you think you're a pro at wrapping, we
Yes, perfect.
don't have to do that. Like it's totally, I can, whatever.
Well, I mean, I would definitely do it. I would definitely do it with you.
Awesome.
You know, sometimes it's great, and then sometimes it ends up in the morning, it's like back here, and I'm like, what the
Okay.
heck? You know,
Yep.
and I know that, you're only supposed to take like an inch, and I feel like I do that, but then somehow,
It still
it
slides
ends up
backwards. And that's while you're sleeping with it.
right.
And do the curls still turn out okay, or
Mhm.
does the curl shape get affected?
Oh, the curl shape definitely gets affected, but I
Okay.
mean,
Okay.
anything is an improvement over, fairly straight
Talk
hair.
about it. This is, yeah, that, okay. So
Yeah.
that's your hair air dried. Okay, cool. Yep. Same, same.
Yes.
Awesome. We can totally help with that. And yeah. So in the past, when you were using it, did you use it on damp hair, dry hair? Is it
I've done it. I've done it all. I've done it with like towel dried hair, which is still pretty wet, to completely dry, washed it the day before, and before I went to bed with dry hair, I, did it. And I've used it with damp hair as well, where I let it air dry for a few hours, and then while it was still moist, well, it was still damp, I used it.
okay, cool.
Um, they're all a little different, and I kind of like the results of any of them.
You do. Okay, good. Awesome.
Mhm.
Um, Normally, I recommend starting with dry hair and then lightly dampening it ear level down, only to avoid getting like a hard crease here, which you can kind of get if you're letting it
Mhm.
like air dry, just because your hair will air dry faster from the roots and the
Okay.
leaves than up here. But if that's not an issue and you're not getting any of those, I'm just mentioning that in case that's something you see as a tip. But it sounds like you got the whole dampness factor down and figured out what works, because that's usually the most important thing. Um, cool. And when it comes to sleeping with it, are you getting the frizz all back here
Um, like up here on my crown.
on the crown? Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
You know,
so yeah. So
I
with
think, I think part of it is, gray hair is a different texture than not gray hair. So that's just part of the nature of it. But I mean, you can see I'm not frizzy right now, and I don't have any product in my hair.
Yep, got it. Um, a couple things on the frizzy. So one that is usually related as well is the dampness. So as I was talking before, is like if your hair is more wet at the roots, it's going to just be more vulnerable if you're sleeping on it while it's slightly damp to
Okay.
being like rubbed against on the sheets. Another reason why it's good to kind of just focus ear level down. Your hair is just in a better state. Like if you're going to bed with wet hair, you
Mhm.
usually wake up a little more frizzy and more easily kinked as well.
Mhm.
Another thing is with using satin pillowcases or a satin sleep bonnet or that's
Okay.
thing that I've heard a couple of our customers doing is that they've bought satin sleep caps. I personally don't use one. And if they're uncomfortable or you just don't want to use one, satin pillowcases would work as well. Um,
Okay.
and I think satin over silk tends to be a better approach. I know silk is more
Mhm.
expensive as well, but satin, because it's machine washable, it's it's more durable and it's also hyperallergenic and you want to be able to wash your stuff, you know, as
Right.
opposed, yeah. Um, it's not the best scenario because I wish I could say like, oh, you can wrap it one way or another and it'll help to prevent the frizz. But
Mhm.
if it is an issue, usually it will solve it. If you put a satin bonnet on, you're not going to have any friction. It's just about the pillow
Okay.
rubbing against your hair while you're sleeping. Um,
Okay.
yeah. If you want, I can send you some ones that we've tested and like used in the past. And I know that they fit with
Sure. That'd be
the
awesome.
headband because also some of the satin bonnets don't
Hmm.
fit. We're actually like working on developing a different version of one just to add to our assortment for
Hmm.
some customers that have
Hmm.
issues. Um, but yeah, I'll send you a couple links after this, no problem. Cool. Any other
Okay.
questions on this
Awesome.
front? On the
No.
No? Cool. And then I guess one other thing is like the after effect hack is always hairspray. Just a little bit
Hmm.
of hairspray on the
Okay.
top if you want to ever add that.
Okay.
Uh, it's helpful just to like, reduce the frizz and you don't have to put much on, just like a light spray and it'll just and pat it down. You're good to go.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Okay. I'll try
Cool.
that. That's, yeah,
Awesome.
that's probably a good idea.
Cool. All right. So we can get into wrapping it together. We'll want to start with our hair parted into two sections and brought to the front, Jane. Awesome. I like to make sure the scrunchies are on the wrists before we begin. We got our headband. Cool. Awesome. All right. So when I start, I like to start by folding it in half so that the ends are even. And you fold it and you get that
Sorry,
nice.
I had to
Oh,
reposition myself. Perfect.
so you got the ends are even, you got you feel the wire all along one side. So now when we
Mhm.
put it on our head, you want that wire facing forward. I know I'm repeating things you already know,
Yes.
saying them just in case. I know
That's
you're
okay.
pro. Have you
No,
been
that's
able
all right.
to get this part down where you do the pigtail?
I think so.
Okay, cool. I'll watch.
Yeah, it's
Yep. Pop her up. Yep. So yeah, and then I would give it an extra good twist, just make sure it's nice and secure. So I usually wrap the end around again and just twist it because it helps to make sure it's staying in place while you're wrapping your hair.
okay.
Yeah, because if it slides around, it can become a little bit looser of a wrap, and then that can also,
So let me do
yeah,
that again
let's
because
work
I
on
know I
this
do it differently than
each
you did,
time.
and I do it differently than the video.
Okay, cool. Are you a righty or a lefty?
Okay.
Uh,
I'm right-handed.
awesome. Me too. So we'll put the left hand on top, and then with our right hand,
Ah,
yeah, that'll make it easier. Right hand,
okay.
you'll want to swoop in. Yep, perfect. And then grab the hair and pull it over. Awesome. Now you just want to use the back of your fingers, pop him up, pop that end up. Beautiful. You're in a great
Mm,
spot now, Jane. Yep. And then just push it.
okay, never done it this way before.
Yeah, this is the way to do it. This is it.
Okay.
Perfect. And I will take a beat just to show you in case you keep that there, but a couple things to note since you did it perfectly. You want to make sure you're going in this way. This way is going to be
Hmm.
way more complicated, you know?
Hmm.
So you want to go in with like your tops of your fingers kind of brushing the jawline. And then also, I think that's pretty much, yeah, make sure you're pulling it towards your face and then over. Going this way is kind of going to push the headband forward. So this
Okay.
towards your face and then over will make sure it sits on your head just where it should be. And then it's locked in place
Okay.
there. Cool. Now you got, that looks good. That looks much better. Awesome. So we can start on the other side. And here's where we'll take our small front 1 inch section. Cool.
So it looks like you're going down farther.
So you can make the section down farther if you want, or you can keep it tight and close to the, part. It's totally up
Okay,
to you, and where you
okay,
want your curls to start. So the most important thing though is even if you go down farther, you still want to keep it close to that hairline and only 1 inch
right.
deep. That looks
Okay.
like it should
Does
be
it look?
good. Yeah. And basically
Okay.
the test is like, so wherever that section is pulled from deep wise, if you think it'll feel comfortable
Hmm.
sitting in that spot, you're good to go.
Okay.
So it'll be pushed back. So like if my section was back here, it's gonna be pushed back to here.
Mhm.
That's where that section
Right,
ends. And like this to me doesn't feel comfortable. It's like sliding backwards. So that's the real
right.
personal
Okay.
test. Cool. So we're gonna
Okay. Got
pull that
it.
over and then under. Awesome. Now, what I like to do, and it looks like you do it already, is you're using your thumb. Great. So you got a good tight wrap
Hmm.
still. All right. No improvement there. You got that down. Awesome, Jane. Now I'll add another section right under the first, combine them. And great. Pull that up and over, making sure each wrap is touching the last. Jane, you're really good at this. I'm afraid I'm not
Oh,
going to have
thank
any
you.
more tips for you. I'm like, oh no, if it's sliding. All right, let's keep going.
No, you've already helped.
Great, great. And then we'll do it again, add another section and combine it.
And this is the one that's at the top of the ear, right?
Yeah, what it could be if
Got it.
I still am not quite there yet. If you're at the top of the ear, yep, so do one more section, not the whole amount yet. Perfect. So
Okay.
grab it and combine them. Perfect. Wrap it over and under. Great. Let's do it again. So we're basically going to repeat this until we get closer to like right here, top of the ear, more or less. Can be a little bit further down, but yep, beautiful. Pull it over and under. Fabulous, Jane. Okay, so now we're at the ear. So we're going to grab all the hair that's left and pull it up and around. Yep, beautiful. Great. You did a good job pulling it close and high and tight to the last wrap.
Ugh.
You're doing good, Jane. Now
Okay. Thank you.
yeah. Now one thing is, so we want to make sure that there's no like gap, which is fine. We can,
Hmm.
so there's like you see how you can see the black? Yeah, that one. So
Hmm.
what'll happen there is you'll just end up with like a curl that's a little bit more dropped. And since you have a lot of hair as well, keeping them close together will just give you more headband to wrap on. Great. Awesome.
Okay.
Fabulous. Yeah, your hair will fit. Awesome.
Okay.
And then we can add the scrunchie. And I like to make sure I put that first wrap kind of above those last ends, because if these come undone, that's fine, but you don't want this part
Uh-huh.
to come undone. You can always fix the ends and
Right.
fill out. And I do about three times, maybe three. Yeah, three. Perfect. Then you can pull it down, make sure. Yeah, that looks good. Awesome.
Okay.
Cool. And then we'll just repeat it on the other side.
Okay.
Does this feel like how you normally do it? Has anything changed on the first side compared to?
No, this is definitely an improvement.
Awesome. Okay, cool.
It feels tighter and in a better place.
Great, great. Yeah, you're making
Okay.
my life easy with since you got the thumb part down, like that is really gold because you have control over how tight you're wrapping it too. And
Yeah.
keeping it kind of like tighter will make sure it's also locked in.
Yes.
Add another section. Great. How quickly
So
was,
what's are you
oh, sorry, I didn't
go
mean to
ahead,
interrupt.
I'm sorry.
Jane. You go, you go.
Well, what are you in New York City or
Um,
upstate New York or where are you?
my parents, they live right outside of New York City. So I'm in Westchester, like 30
Oh,
minutes
okay.
outside. And then I'm in New York City.
Okay.
But we're
Oh,
moving to
okay.
Pittsburgh.
Okay.
in a kind of a couple of months. So we
Oh,
maybe November.
wow.
Yeah. Yeah. We're
Oh,
excited about it. Yeah.
exciting.
I'll slow down.
Okay.
I'll come back to where you are. Yeah, there we go. Awesome. How long did it take you to get this good at it, Jane? Because you're really good. You got all the
Um,
techniques
oh,
down.
thank you. I would say just a few times, I was really I had it for a while,
Yeah.
and I was really nervous about trying it, like, oh, I'm just gonna fail at it. And my whole life I've, like tried to have curly hair, so I've used sponge rollers, hot rollers, the bendables or whatever they were called, that were like heated, curling iron, and my hair is just really heavy, and they all would last about 2 hours,
Yep.
and then my hair would be straight again.
Yep.
It was really defeating.
Yep.
Um, so I was like, "Ugh, this probably isn't gonna work, but I'm like, yeah, it's only $20. Just I don't even remember how, I don't know if I saw it on Facebook. I don't even know how I heard about it, but it's like, oh, just, looks pretty comfortable. So then I just tried it a couple of times and it was like, holy crap. It
Well,
stays for like 2 days. What the hell?
I know it's nuts. It's nuts. And it's
It
like
is.
faster to like just the actual process of it too. I
Oh
could not
yeah.
figure out rollers for the life of me. I would try and they would fall out
No,
and I'd
I would
try and try again. And the hot rollers and I
yeah,
get my hair caught and then the curling irons, forget about it. Yeah, I am so
yeah.
happy to hear that. What we found is that because there's not much research out there, so we've been doing a lot of like our own like research and customer surveys as well. But like about 60% of women's curls last like don't last more than like 4 hours when they use all the hot rollers, and then
Mhm.
40% will fall flat within an hour and a half. So it's
Mhm.
just like that's nuts. That's all like that's half the market doesn't work. The product doesn't work for them, It's just
Right.
crazy. Um, and yeah, we put a lot of work, research, and science into making sure that the curls last with this. Um,
Well, and my daughter noticed, the first time I did it, and she came over, she's 30, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, mom, your hair looks so pretty. What did you do?" And I'm like, "Oh, and she goes, "Oh, you used a heatless curler, didn't you?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And she goes, "Oh yeah, I've been using that," except she's been using a different kind,
yeah,
and she wasn't having very much success with it. So I bought her one of these, and she's like, "Ah, this is life changing." And she's got two small children, and she's got really
oh,
long hair, and so she just loves it. But she got one of those satin bonnets, and she loves it.
she
So
loves it.
anyway,
Awesome. Thank you so
yes.
much. That is so happy to hear. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, the other one, they don't, yeah, they didn't. We obsessed over this. Everyone else just came to market fast, but yeah, I'm so happy to hear our what we put our heart and soul into worked. Yeah.
Well,
So
it absolutely did.
thank you,
Yes.
Jane.
Okay.
Cool.
Oh
All
yeah.
right. So now we can twist to tighten it. As you know, just like give it a little twist. And it should just like kind of suction it a little bit. Awesome.
Okay.
That side looks up. I see it's a little puffy there. What we could do is I would recommend, if we want, we can redo that side. We'll just want to
Okay.
basically take that down one more notch. What I mean by that, we can unravel to like there. Yeah, cool. I'll get to where you are. Great. Awesome. So before we grab all the hair, do one more unravel. We're going to
Okay.
break that up into, there you go. And then maybe give it a little bit. Yeah. We'll just kind of want to, there you go. Perfect. And if we need to start from the top, we can. Great. So we're going to want to break that up a little bit. So we're going to do one more wrap. Yeah, perfect. Add another section, wrap it around. Let's do
Okay.
maybe, yeah, we could maybe even do one more small section just to kind of break it up a little bit more. Yep, perfect. And now we'll grab all the hair that's left. So it might be more halfway down your ear specifically. and it'll still be
Mhm.
perfectly good. Awesome. And now pull it tight. Great. You did a good job of keeping the end close to your jawline. If you hold it out here, you'll end up with like a poof. So you did a good job
Right.
doing
Yeah,
that.
I did. I've done that too. It's like, why is it all puffy back there?
Yep. There you go. Perfect. Yeah, this is looking better. Very good. Yeah. And I was looking at your part line. I didn't tell you to like, so normally if you have like a side part, I would say like, cut it to the middle at some points. There's more even amount of hair, but your hair is pretty center parted. So we have no comments
Yeah.
on that because that could also be a reason why, just reduce the amount. Awesome. Cool. And then we will, oops, twist it to the, away from your face again. There we go.
Mhm.
Yeah, that looks good. All right.
Okay.
Awesome. And then we can spin around and do the cross. I like to, switch hands when it's on top. I like to tuck it under. When it's under, tuck it over.
Okay. So can you do that again?
Yeah, no problem. Okay. So in the back, we're going to
Right.
push them to the opposite side and then
Okay.
the opposite hand. One's going to be on bottom, so we're just going to fold that one up and then tuck it down.
Okay. Got it.
Push it. The one that's on top, fold it under,
Okay. There we go.
which way it fits. But there's really no wrong way to do this. I think some people do other things like, this will stay as well, but it's not necessarily as comfortable to sleep in if it creates like a
Yeah,
bigger
I've
knot in
made
the
a
back.
mistake of yeah, I've made the mistake of doing that.
Cool, cool. That looks
Okay, that
good.
makes sense.
So does this feel secure? How does it feel?
Yeah, it does.
It does. Do you think it would stay?
It does.
It does.
Do you want to see the back?
Yeah, spin around, honey. Let me see. It looks great. Oh, so good. So good. It looks fabulous. It looks so
Okay.
cool. So let me know, Jane, if this does not work and it slides off while you're sleeping with like what we just went through here.
Mhm.
Let me know, reach back out and I'll help again. I'll give it some more thought, but I do think this is going to be perfectly good. I don't think it shouldn't come off while you're sleeping. It looks secure. It looks a little
Okay.
poopy down
Well,
there.
it doesn't ever come off all the way.
It
It
just
just
slides.
feel like, oh, I keep doing that, but
You keep having to do
also,
that.
well,
Hmm.
I feel like I do, but
Got it.
I've got really thick hair.
You do have thick hair. That is for sure. You have great hair. Yeah, I think it should, as long as it doesn't affect the curl shape, especially if you're wearing it overnight, wearing good company.
Mhm.
I know. Why is it looking poofy on that side? It looks a little poofy, a little, what?
It does.
It does. Let's take that down. Let's figure that one out because that didn't look good. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. I think, all right, that's it. So
Poofy, not poofy.
poofy, not poofy. I think it's probably because it just became loose after we did the first round. You know how we undid it? Let's fix that
Mhm.
up because you did do a
Okay.
good job of keeping it close to your head while you were wrapping it.
Are we
Let's
starting all over with this
let's
side?
take it from the top. I just want to make sure you're comfortable and secure because you did everything right that time, and it's probably just because we had undone it. All right. This time I'll just watch you and call it anything, but yeah, you're good. Fabulous. Awesome. That looks good. Yep, give it a good little tug. Great. Put it over. Awesome. And here's where we'll take a couple more sections and keep
Yeah.
going like a little bit further, like maybe halfway to the ear. And that we'll do one more small section.
Okay.
Cool. Great. And now we'll add all the hair that's left, combine it, give it a good tug. And here you'll want to pull the end of the headband close to your jawline. Yep. And then wrap it
Mhm.
around. So, yep, there you go. And now you're good to just wrap it all the way down. So just to demo what I mean by that, you're doing good. So yeah, keep going and add the scrunchie. But yeah, if you have the headband out here and then you add the hair to it
Mhm.
and then wrap it down, once you're done, you're going to end up with that poof.
Yeah.
Just going to like kind of
Mhm.
sit, give you this extra space. It's just going to blah. But yeah, awesome.
Okay. And then,
Fabulous. Okay, there you go. Yep,
okay. Oh, that's better.
there we go. We're good. There we go. Yeah, yeah, awesome. All right, now we're good. Now we're rocking and rolling. I like it.
Up, down. Okay. That actually feels better.
Yes. Yes, it looks good. It looks good.
Okay.
It looks good. Perfect. Nailed it, Jane. Very cool. Any other questions?
Awesome. Um, no.
Awesome. Well, in that case, it was so nice to meet you. Thank you so much for sharing our product with your daughter. If you have any questions or if
Oh,
this
of course.
flies around, reach out anytime. We're here to help. And yeah, thanks so
Okay.
much. Have a great day, Jane.
All right. Thank you so much. Enjoy your visit with your folks.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.